Hey guys, how you going? It's Jess here, and today I have a little bit of a different video. It's a little bit special. This one is definitely not a beauty video at all, but it is a little bit of a continuation from one of my previous videos where I was talking about how to be a beauty guru here on YouTube. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll put a link for you down below. Anyway, let's get on with today's video, which is all about CC-free music for your videos. Everything that I'm going to be mentioning today is absolutely 100% free. No questions asked, no subscriptions, no one-off payments for individual songs. It's all free. Alright guys, we have a lot to get through today, so I hope you have your favourite beverage next to you. Let's get started. Starting with Dano songs. Dan's site is fantastic. I love how easy it is to navigate and listen to all of the songs. You can click through each one and have a bit of a listen before you download it. Dano's stuff is free to use with a credit, so you just need to make sure that in your video description you write music by Dano at danosongs.com. Audionautics is another one that's been around for a pretty long time, and the way that the website looks right now I think is fantastic. I like the fact that everything's just been put into categories, so you've got your genres, your mood, and even tempo. All the music on audionautics.com is actually created by a guy called Jason Shaw. But when you go to credit this guy for the work that he's done, what you need to do is provide a link back to the website directly in your video description. Created by Brett is run by a guy called Brett, and he actually has a whole bunch of stuff on his website, including music that you can use for YouTube. The front page of his website basically says that if you do want to use any of his music for your content, just make sure that you're crediting his YouTube, not the website. A lot of his songs are separated into different genres or things that he's actually made for other people. So this is a guy that can actually make you a theme song if you want that to happen, guys. So definitely check it out if that's something you're interested in. Flori is an independent artist that does have a YouTube page, but if you want to use any of her music or check out what she does, it's best to head over to her website. At the top of her website, there's a little tab that says Free Music Downloads. When you click on that, it just gives you access to a whole bunch of different songs that she's produced, and the majority of them are free to use for your YouTube videos. Just a slight little word of warning though, I have had a few issues in terms of using her music in the past. Don't know if that's been fixed or not, but if you want to be monetizing your content, proceed with caution. Incompetech.com is one of those sites that's been around for a very long time, since 2006. As far as I can tell, it's run by a guy called Kevin MacLeod, or Kevin MacLeod. Sorry Kevin. Anyway Kevin, your music is great, and I really love the way that this website is set out. I also like that he goes into detail with each individual track, and he lets you know what the tempo is, what instruments are used, and the general feeling of the song. When you go to credit him, just make sure that you include the title of the song, you include his name, and a link directly to the website. Ronald Jenkins is an amazing artist, and you might have already heard his stuff if you're a bit of a fan of Philly D. He completely understands the plight of every YouTuber trying to find music for their videos. So as long as you give him the correct attribution, his stuff is free. But really, I think this is definitely one of those artists that deserves your donation. Josh Woodward is a great independent artist. He's highly prolific and has heaps of albums that you can download. But if you don't need an album, you can also download individual songs. He has over 180 songs that you can download for free. All he really asks is that you share his stuff around, so posting it on your Facebook, your Twitter and that sort of thing, but also in your video description you need to make sure that you're putting the name of the song by Josh Woodward and a link directly back to his website. ccmixter.org is a bit of an interesting one. It's actually a massive website with loads of different artists contributing all sorts of different content to the one site. However, if you're a YouTuber, you really need to check out the Dig CC Mixter part of the website. Within Dig CC Mixter, there's a section that's actually dedicated to music you can use for YouTube. Some of the songs have pretty limited CC licensing attached to them, and some of them only really allow you to sample the work, and you can't monetize your content if you use that song. So just make sure that when you pick a song, it has the correct CC licensing attached to it. freemusicarchive.org is a huge site that is absolutely jam-packed full of so many different genres of music. It's easiest to navigate this website if you click the By Genre tab up the top, and then just try and find the type of music you're after that way. This website is another one that you need to be really careful with in terms of the individual CC licensing that's attached to each track. The artists themselves are the ones who are uploading the music to this website, and they're the ones who have control over how their music is shared. If you want to use a track for your video, you need to make sure that the artist has not only allowed you to use them, usually grounds.com, definitely not one of those ones where you think of music straight away. Users can contribute their songs and have other users rate them. Attribution can differ from song to song, so just make sure that you're doing it the right way. SoundCloud is an absolutely massive hub of audio. You can find every genre imaginable on this website. But the thing is, a lot of it isn't completely free. You can search for CC free music on this website, and you'll find a few different artists and groups that are more than happy to provide their music for free. If you find a song you like, you really just have to make absolutely certain that you're allowed to use that music for your video and monetize it. You can quite often contact artists directly through this website and ask their permission. And guys, if there are any artists that you love on SoundCloud and you know that their music is CC free and royalty free, let me know down in the comments below so I can add it to the video description list. TechnoAxe is one that I found only in the last few weeks, and I really wish that I knew about them sooner. There's new songs posted up almost every day. It is 100% royalty free, you don't need to worry about being content ID matched, it's amazing. Definitely subscribe to the TechnoAxe YouTube channel, and if you want to use any of the songs in your videos, just make sure that you attribute them correctly. Each song has its own individual link, and you can just pop this down into your video description. I gotta give props to YouTube because it is starting to make more resources available for its content creators. And right now you can access 150 songs for free that you can monetize. Now at the time of making this video, the YouTube audio library is still fairly new, so there's a couple of teething issues in terms of monetization and copyright claims. But if you do get hit by a copyright claim from YouTube when you've used one of their songs, I recommend that you report it through their forum or you contact YouTube directly in order to get it lifted. So guys, that's basically everything that I know from the interwebs today in terms of CC free music. If you guys have any other links, and I really mean this, if you've got any other links or ideas or anything like that, leave me a comment down below so I can add it into the video description. Sharing is caring, and if I have left anything out, I'd love to know. Thanks for showing this video your thumbs, and I will catch you all next week. See ya!
Recently, I was doing some research on 16th century boxwood carvings when I discovered that the vast majority of these beautiful works of wood carvings that I was looking at were taken almost completely from pre-existing prints, paintings, and the carver, while being very skilled with his craft of fine, delicate woodwork, was not so creative when it comes to narrative composition, and thus he copied it from others. And after discovering this, I found myself having these weird, conflicting thoughts about originality and ownership. On the one hand, I really don't like the idea of someone just blatantly copying other people's work. But on the other hand, I'm kind of glad he did it, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to make such beautiful, amazing works of art that stood the test of time, unlike many prints and paintings. And who knows, maybe these printmakers and painters that this guy borrowed from were totally okay with it. We don't know for sure, because one, this was a long time ago, these people are dead, we can't ask them, and two, back in medieval Europe, intellectual property and copyright law really wasn't a thing. Sometimes when I talk to people about art, they think that most artworks are 100% original. But if you really thought about this proposition, 100% original, can you really find something ever that's 100% original? Because I think the reality is most people, most artists, borrow inspiration and materials from other people. And that we make art based on the world around us, based on what we see and what we know. We borrow ideas from people all the time, whether it's people from history or our contemporaries. Now, intellectual property and copyright law are really complicated issues. I would suggest watching this series if you need a crash course. So sometimes as a creator, we want others to use our creations, but maybe we want there to be limitations on what they can use it for, or we would like to receive attribution for them doing so. And sometimes we want to use and build on other people's ideas, but we want to do it respectfully respectfully, and we want to make sure we have their permission to do so. So how do we do that? Well, we could go up and ask each and every person individually. But what if there are thousands or maybe millions of people who want to use a thing? Or what if you want thousands or millions of people to use your thing? What if you're not sure how to give permission? Or what if you're not sure how to get permission? Well, for the past 15 years, there has been actually a solution. It's called the Creative Commons, which is a nonprofit organization that provides free licenses and tools to creators that allows them to share their works with others to use, reuse, and/or transform. This is not the same as putting your work into the public domain, where anyone can use it in whatever way they want and you give up all the rights to your work. This is a way for creators to reserve some rights to their work, while at the same time giving others permission to use it in ways that they agree with. For example, you can allow others to use your work, but one of the criteria is that they have to give you credit. Or you're okay with people using your work, but you're not okay with people making modifications to it without your permission. Or you're okay with people using your work, transforming it, modifying it in whatever way they want, but you don't want it to be used commercially. Or any combination of the above. Creative Commons provides us with ways to do that, and they can also help us navigate the complicated world of the internet and differing international copyright situations. Now, I understand that not everybody is into remixes, not everybody is interested in sharing their work, and not everybody is interested in using other people's work. And that's totally okay. I think the existence of copyright and all rights reserved is vital to our culture and economy. And thus, being supportive of collaboration is by no means a rejection of independent creation. Artists should be able to choose the type of ownership they want to have over their creations and should receive protection whether they choose to retain all of the ownership over it or share it with others. So this Project for Awesome, I encourage you to share some of your support with Creative Commons. Please vote for this video and Creative Commons so that they can receive a portion of the money we fundraised this year for Project for Awesome. And please also consider donating a small amount yourself directly to Creative Commons. I will put a link in the description. Thanks for watching, and EFTBA.
Creative Commons is a crucial organization when it comes to OER, and Creative Commons is much more but just licensing. So we asked Ryan Merkley, the CEO of Creative Commons, what's next, and we're happy you're taking your time. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I heard there were several activities going on. One was just started, which is CC Search, which not is only about search, is it?
No, it's not just about search. So most people know Creative Commons for the licenses, and we hit a fairly significant milestone recently. We passed 1.2 billion licensed works, content of every type. So OER for sure, but also photos, video, 3D models, all kinds of things. But one of the things that became clear is that there's no front door to the Commons, and there's no registry. And so there's no way to find those works all in one place. They live in repositories all over the internet, on individual websites, and on platforms for hosting open content. So we wanted to solve for that. And so we're building a project called CC Search. We actually shipped the beta in February of this year. It currently indexes about 1% of the Commons, so about 12 million works. The idea is pretty simple. It's a complete index of every openly licensed work on the web, its location, and its associated metadata. Then there's an API that allows us to talk to the registry, to run queries, or to build services on top of it. And then there's CC Search, which is the front end of that. So that's the service we're building on top of it. We imagine that we'll take that registry and that index and we'll enhance it by using machine learning tools to give us better descriptions or make the content more discoverable, or to disambiguate content and be able to, for example, search by creator or those kinds of things, which you can't do today. And then we expect that through the services that are built on top of it, we'll also collect data. So for example, through CC Search, you can submit your own meta tags, you can create lists of your favorite content, and that curatorial data and that user data tells us something about the Commons, and over time would tell us what content was more popular, what people thought about the things that they found, so that's our hope.
what to expect from the registry, what will come over time?
So what I think will come over time, first of all, a better way to search and discover works online in multiple categories. So we've started with photography because we wanted something that was easy for people to use and to give us feedback. We've had over 500 people fill out surveys online. We've gotten good feedback both on the things people like and also the things they hate, which is what you want from a beta, a chance to work openly and to get good feedback. We imagine over time that, one, search will be successful. We know that people want this. And then secondly, we expect that others may use the API to integrate the registry into other things. Maybe someone will build a new service or simply integrate search functionality into their own platforms. One of the things that made CC successful over the first 15 years was CC license tools being exactly where people expected them to be. So I could share my photo on Flickr without leaving the website. And I think the more CC is part of the stack, that it's integrated with the way people create and share, the more likely we'll see more sharing and more collaboration.
I understood that it will also be on the data that's already there. So it's not only for the resources published from 2018 on, but it's already working backwards?
That's right. Yeah, so we're starting with the idea of indexing all 1.2 billion works, and then going forward, integrating those tools integrating those new works into the registry. I think over time, to answer your earlier question about what's my hope, the license today is a three-part license: the legal code, the human readable deed, and the metadata, which everybody knows. We'd like to add a fourth level to the license, which is software, to have every work that's licensed be backed by that database, to be searchable, to create a unique ID or a hash of that work so that we can ultimately find it on the web as it makes its way around the web. And I think that makes CC licenses more powerful and allows us to do a bunch of really excellent things that enhance the license tools, like automated attribution or user discovery for creators about where their works go, or tracking remix. These are all things we can't do today. We'd love to be able to do, but CC has to be thought of as it's kind of CC as a service. I hate to use a buzzword, but that's really what we're talking about, is putting CC in the stack so that it can be integrated with all the other places where people already use CC services.
It sounds like a huge step for CC. You also are preparing some efforts for many small steps, which is a certificate. And I don't know if it's especially for open education?
So one of the things we've learned is that we need more experts and advocates for CC. And one of the ways that we're doing that is by teaching other people the things that we know and the things that our community is best at, so that they can be their own advocates and practitioners. So we've developed what we're calling the CC Certificate Program. It's really two things. It's a set of OER about how to work in the open, how CC licensed tools work, and how to apply them in a variety of contexts, including a set of specialized content for particular areas where CC licenses are common. So to start, it's librarians, educators, and government. And so we've created the core content and 3 specializations. And so that's OER that we'll be releasing early next year. And then the second part of that is a certification program for people who need it. And for some people in their work or in their life, being able to achieve a certification that demonstrates a proficiency is useful for them. In some cases, it's because it gives them a credibility to speak to their peers and colleagues about what they know about CC. In another cases, that certification might enable them to have that be funded by their employer because they want to know that there's something at the other end of it that proves that they did the work and that they have that knowledge. So we'll launch it as 2 parts. So some people can just read the content, do what they want with it, do it on their own time, and just learn. Other people may want a more formal certification, which will run more like kind of like a 12-week MOOC, like online, some coursework, weekly TA sessions, and then an evaluation.
So this might be interesting for our German community, because many of the German players in the field now are about teaching others about OER. So OER on OER is a crucial thing, and I understand that this can be translated and adapted too.
Yeah, so we'll share all of the content as OER, which means that others can pick it up, adapt it, reuse it, remix it as they want to. Our other hope, though, is that our international community will step up and become teachers of this program. CC's real strength is our global network, and we have strong teams in Germany and all over Europe and all around the world. And so our hope is that one of the things they'll do is help us internationalize that content and then take up the role of teaching it. And that so this becomes a platform for the whole movement, helping other people grow that movement.
Speaking of a global network, would you give a pitch on Toronto?
So in April of 2018, April 13th to 15th, Creative Commons Global Summit will be in Toronto for the second time. We hosted there for the first time last year. For the first time ever, we sold out the event. It was our largest event ever, almost 30% larger than we've ever had. So we're really, really excited to be coming back to Toronto, which is my hometown, for another event, which we expect will be bigger than the last one. It's a community-planned event. We had almost 50 people on the planning committee last year, huge open call for submissions, and just cover the absolute gamut. Everything from brand new people who'd never met CC to long-standing advocates, high-level meetings, introductory meetings, every kind of field of CC that you could imagine, from open ed to open access to 3D modeling, you name it. So it's a bit of a celebration and also a great place to kind of jump into the pool of Creative Commons.
Anything else we should know about Creative Commons plans in 2018?
I think we've got a lot of stuff going on, but all of our work is done in the open, and we welcome contributions. So if there's something we've talked about that people are excited about, check us out on our website, creativecommons.org, and find your way in. We do all of our work in the open, all our code is open sourced, and so there's lots of different ways to contribute and get involved.
Thanks, Ryan, for taking your time. Keep up your good work. Thanks again.
Thanks very much.
guys, how you going? It's Jess here, and today I have a little bit of a different video. It's a little bit special. This one is definitely not a beauty video at all, but it is a little bit of a continuation from one of my previous videos where I was talking about how to be a beauty guru here on YouTube. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll put a link for you down below. Anyway, let's get on with today's video, which is all about CC-free music for your videos. Everything that I'm going to be mentioning today is absolutely 100% free. No questions asked, no subscriptions, no one-off payments for individual songs. It's all free. Alright guys, we have a lot to get through today, so I hope you have your favourite beverage next to you. Let's get started. Starting with Dano songs. Dan's site is fantastic. I love how easy it is to navigate and listen to all of the songs. You can click through each one and have a bit of a listen before you download it. Dano stuff is free to use with a credit, so you just need to make sure that in your video description you write music by Dano at danosongs.com. Audionautics is another one that's been around for a pretty long time, and the way that the website looks right now I think is fantastic. I like the fact that everything's just been put into categories, so you've got your genres, your mood, and even tempo. All the music on audionautics.com is actually created by a guy called Jason Shaw. But when you go to credit this guy for the work that he's done, what you need to do is provide a link back to the website directly in your video description. Created by Brett is run by a guy called Brett.